Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock chart analysis of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. We're going to take a look at this on an update. We haven't looked at this in a while, so we're going to start off here with the weekly chart. On a weekly basis, here's the all-time low on Green Mountain back in 1998, 0.14 split adjusted. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. I believe we've had five cycle waves up. 1, 2, huge, strong 3, which is typical of the third wave. Fourth wave back, because the second one was somewhat shallow. Fourth one was sharp and well, not totally deep, but anyway, this was the fourth wave here, and then a fifth wave that topped out back in, looks like November of last year. We've been correcting ever since. We'll get into the daily in a minute. The point I want to make here is that we have 5 waves up, and I believe we have. Then we need to correct this entire 5-wave cycle. Now, when you correct 5-wave cycle here, the corrective move that's going to happen is going to take longer than the longest of these 2 corrections. And 22 months was this one, so I'm expecting this correction to take longer than 22 months and be deeper than the deepest of the 2. So I think we're in for a little bit of a deep correction here, and I think it's going to take longer than 22 months. So that's my initial take on what we're into. Does that not mean that it won't go up and down in that process? But just like here, up and down, choppy, and corrective actions can become very complex. But that's the scenario I think we're into with Keurig Green Mountain. Now let's look at the daily chart. And on a daily chart, let me look at the last 5 waves first. And there's a couple things going on here, and so I apologize for the messiness, but I do think we had 5 waves up. The thing that got real confusing to me last year was this wave here, this 5th wave, and I do believe we had some kind of ending diagonal in here picture. That's what I've got with the somewhat pinkish, whatever. I'm partially colorblind, so I'm not sure what color that is, but I tried to make it a little bit different in here. And we had a little bit of throwover on the final move, the 5th wave move up in here. So now we're breaking down. Now, the other thing that I'll point out is we have a head and shoulders pattern that topped out in here, and we broke down through that head and shoulders pattern on a gap. And let me zoom in so you can see that real clear. Right here, and that occurred in May, here May 7th on this gap, breaking through the neckline. So when I look at the head and shoulders top, okay, that we've got going on, and the projected move of that head and shoulders, here was the target. And this is pretty rapidly moved to that target. It's almost there. I've got about 74 is the target, but we're getting really, really close. So it's kind of hard to pick fine hairs when you're getting this close, but we're getting close. The other thing is when you look at divergence, starting to see some divergence like on all 3 indicators, the demand index, DI minus here, not confirming the continued move, and the RSI basically showing some divergence too. You can see if I look at this, it's close. It's not real clear, real strong divergence. So, you got to trust and say the trend is strong. The trend is still down. So it's going to take a little bit of price action to get this to turn. To sit and buy right now, just because this is a head and shoulders target doesn't mean it has to stop here at all. This is the minimum expected move. Okay. And to come in and buy right now, you're basically like trying to catch a falling knife. You've heard that saying before, I'm sure. Now, here is potential support where, we're kind of bottomed back in before, and that kind of aligns right in with that head and shoulders target. So we'll see whether or not we get that. But if it doesn't hold, there's not a whole lot of real strong. I mean, some, trading went on all the way down into this 4th wave here. So we'll see. Now this is the bottom of the 4th impulse wave, I believe, back in here, and that's well below 20. Don't know if we're going to get that far or not, but right now you just got to keep watching the wave count. So my assessment is this thing is Still negative, still hard down, approaching the minimum expected move of the Head and Shoulders top. The other thing I just want to point out, because I didn't take it off the chart, I mean, this clearly broke down out of a trend line. The trend line's broken, the momentum was broken. If you draw a trend line up across here, it's real clear that this entire move has broken down. Okay, and then of course the Head and Shoulders kind of confirm that. So that's the take as of right now on Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. So we'll continue to watch this and see where it starts to stop and if we can get another play to the downside. So, all right, it's been Joe from Beyond Chart. Everyone have a great day. Talk to you soon.